The House just voted, according to Ida Chavez, 269 to 144 on an amendment that erases the Gaza death toll. Over 60 Democrats voted to support it. It was sponsored by Democrat Josh Gottheimer. Yep. This is Rashida Tlaib talking about this amendment, which did just pass. It's an amendment to an appropriations bill. And it essentially says that the Gaza Health Ministry death toll is inaccurate because it's run by Hamas. Now, we know that the death toll is a massive undercount. We know that because of just like having eyes and ears, but also because Save the Children just came out with a report earlier this week that said 20,000 children are just unaccounted for, many presumed dead or in Israeli prisons. And so, like, we've been saying for months that this death toll that's been stuck at, I don't know, high 30,000s is going to be much higher once there can actually be investigations done. But that's part of why they don't want a ceasefire in Israel, because then accountability will come and they'll be able to independently verify some of these things. So, and
for folks not catching up, this is an official bill saying we can't listen to the Hamas health ministry.
Yes, this is no different than a Holocaust denial that's been codified in our Congress. By the way,
they also can't argue. They can't argue that the Hamas numbers haven't been accurate in the past. This is entirely based on keeping information from people as it's developing, because they're afraid
they use them in the past. They used them in the past. To your point,
and this is why, like, when we talk about look at Bibi upsetting Biden and the Democrats. No, this is complicity. This is complete complicity in the genocide. This is participation in a genocide. It is not merely, they have their own thing going on and we generally support them. This is active complicity in a genocide by the Zionist Republicans and Zionist Democrats.
I wanted to say how absolutely unconscionable that my colleagues are offering an amendment to prevent our U.S. government from even citing the Palestinian death toll. Since 1948, Mr. Speaker, there has been a coordinated effort, especially in this chamber, to dehumanize Palestinians and erase Palestinians from existence. The ethnic cleansing of Palestinians did not end in 1948. Today, Mr. Speaker, we are witnessing the Israeli apartheid government carry out a genocide in Gaza and in real time. And then this amendment is an attempt to hide it. Let me remind you all of the words of an Israeli defense minister who said, quote, we are imposing a complete siege on Gaza. No electricity, no food, no water, no fuel, everything closed. We are fighting human animals, end of quote. They don't even see Palestinians as human beings.
You don't even need to take it off the screen. I just want to remind people that that was Yoav Gallant, who was just in Washington yesterday. And all the reporting about this was that the meeting was so positive between that guy and the Biden administration.
He's also one of the Israeli officials other than Netanyahu who has the request for an application for a warrant under the ICC prosecutor as
exactly.
well.
Blinken's buddy.
Fighting human animals, end of quote. They don't even see Palestinians as human beings, Mr. Speaker. And here we are. My colleagues want to prohibit our own U.S. officials from even citing the Palestinian death toll. So let me read it into the record. Here are the latest casualties of Palestinians killed. 37,718 Palestinians, including more than 15,000 Palestinian children, and more than 86,377 Palestinians have been injured. 6 children, Mr. Speaker, 6 are killed in Gaza every single hour. But Palestinians are not just numbers. Behind these numbers are real people, mothers, fathers, sons, daughters, who have had their lives stolen from them and their families torn apart. And we should not be trying to hide it. These are innocent children and babies who have been bombed in their tents, burned alive, dismembered, and deliberately starved to death. Where is our shared humanity in this chamber? There is so much anti-Palestinian racism in this chamber that my colleagues don't even want to acknowledge that Palestinians exist at all. Not when they're alive, and now not even when they're dead. It's absolutely disgusting. This is genocide denial.
Yep.
Mr. Speaker, I know the majority of this chamber doesn't believe Palestinians should live or exist, But I won't remain silent as the only Palestinian American serving in Congress. While folks attempt to ever even erase those who were killed with our own weapons. So if I may, later at the appropriate time, I will submit for the inclusion into the congressional record the list of the Palestinians killed in Gaza. And Mr. Speaker, it is important to note this to everyone here. The list is too long that I can't even submit it because of the text limit. That's how many have been killed.
That we know of. Just putting it into, I can't even imagine the pain she feels having to sit alongside those people every single day. By the way, in a report coming out of the Associated Press earlier today, in the searing heat of the Gaza summer, Palestinians are surrounded by sewage and garbage. Basically, it's extremely hot, and there's no food, medicine. The photos, actually, Bradley, I'm going to send this. Let's just put this up. You can see the photos in this Associated Press article here, but the Democrats didn't give any, they usually send out guidance for amendments, and they'll say vote no on this, because this is, again, a Republican-led House. They put no guidance under that amendment that she was referring to there, by the way, which is disgusting. So that's Democratic leadership complicity in this,
At least
too.
they didn't guide people to deny genocide, which is frankly what I would have expected them to do.
So scroll down here, and you can just see some of these images of children waiting in garbage. Reports of hepatitis A, cases on the rise. There's no sanitary conditions at all. Water completely unsanitary as well. This is what happens when, this is Rashida Tlaib represents parts of Detroit. Gaza is smaller. The entire Gaza Strip is smaller than Detroit.
Yeah, I would just like to say fuck Dan Goldman, Genocide Dan.
My representative.
Fuck Grace Meng,
Yeah.
fuck Richie Torres, fuck Adriano Espaillat, all those genocide deniers. Yeah, don't vote for people like that.
I did. I voted for his opponent on Tuesday in the primary, and actually his opponent, Hutchinson, who was running just basically explicitly as a pro-Palestinian protest vote, and there's no funding and no press about that candidacy. So, and Goldman lost some votes. So this is a good opportunity coming up, I think, next election cycle to primary this idiot.
Tell you how much I hate Dan Goldman and the gall to take every opportunity to wag his finger at a protester having bad manners as he denies a genocide.
Hey, folks, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and check out our daily show. We do it every day at 12 p.m. Eastern for about 2.5 hours. We even take phone calls. You should check that out.